Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It's 12 o'clock on a Sunday, which means it's time for a Q&A. Now this is where I take all the questions you've asked over the course of the week and I try to answer them to the best of my ability. Now first of all, I hope you've had a great week. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for tuning into Magic TV. I hope you've enjoyed the videos that we've put up this week. If this is your first Q&A, a couple of things you need to know. First of all, if you want to have me answer a question, get it in by the Tuesday or the Wednesday at the latest. I typically film these on the Tuesday and then they're done. So if you get it in after the filming date, your question's not going to get answered. So if I miss your question, I'm very sorry. Ask it down below on this video and I'll get back to it the following week. Also, you're getting my raw, unfiltered opinions to these questions. I haven't even read through them ahead of time. So if there's a question that I think will take too long to answer or is more deserving of a longer video, I'll let you know that, and that'll form the basis of one of the longer videos at some point in the future. Outside of that, like I said, thank you so much for asking all the wonderful questions. Thank you to everybody that keeps talking about how much they've enjoyed Magic TV, how much they've enjoyed the various Christmas content that we've put up, all of the Christmas stuff that I did with Penguin. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And without further ado, I'm going to get straight into it this week with the Q&A. Let's go. Okay, so the first question is from Benoit P6147, who says, "Hi Craig, I've been in Magic for a long time, but not as a professional magician. In the next 2 to 3 years, I'm going to retire from my current engineer job. One of my dreams is to finally start a small magician business as an entertainer. I have experience in doing shows, mostly in a parlour situation, and I also have lots of tricks that I can choose from. I've also been practicing magic for more than 40 years, both in doing tricks and in learning how to build and do shows. It has always been my dream to start a business in magic, but never really had the chance to do so. I already have a website name, but it's not active yet. My question is related to the fact that I'll be about 63 years old when I retire from my current job to start my new magic business. I'm not looking to build something huge, but to have a part-time pro entertainment business doing shows. I want to make my dream come true through, I want to make my dreams come true rather than make lots of money. Okay. What do you think about starting a magician business at the age of 63? Am I too old to do it by today's standards? My main focus would be mental magic and cabaret style shows and also family children's magic shows. Thanks, Ben. No, it's not too old at all, Ben. Absolutely not too old at all. I don't know exactly, but one of my favourite magicians is Doc Eason. And I don't think he turned pro or even started learning magic until his 50s. I might be wrong, but I know it was quite late in the day. You can set up a business at any time. I've got some friends that run a very successful restaurant in the UK, and they retired, I think, at the age of 58, and went and bought a restaurant, and they set up a brand new business at the age of like 60. So it's never too old. You're only as old as you feel, and as long as you feel like you can go out and perform at a level that you are happy with, then that's absolutely fine. Because to be honest, any business is successful not in the age of the person that's running the business, but in whether people are going to actually book you or not. And that's based really down to marketing. I always tell people when I speak to them about their business, the most important thing is marketing. Well, generally the most important thing are leads and inquiries and inquiry acquisition, which comes from marketing. Without marketing, there's no leads. Without leads, there's no bookings. Without bookings, there's no money. Without money, there's no profit. And without profit, there's no business. So it all revolves around lead generation. So yes, you can do it, and it wouldn't be a problem to do it at all. But you're going to have to work relatively hard. It's not going to be, you say you want to be part-time, and that's cool, and you might be able to get by going around and doing a few restaurants. But if you want to make a decent income, you're going to have to make sure that you've got a website. It's going to have to be optimized. You're going to have social proof. You're going to have digital assets. You're going to have photos and videos and that sort of thing. But it's not rocket science. It's not a difficult thing to do. And if you've already been performing for years and you've already got your act in place, you're probably going to have a lot of assets that you could literally plug in and play immediately. So yes, you can do it. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Yes, you can absolutely do it, but the most important thing is to focus on the business side of the business. That's one of the things that people don't realize when they become a professional magician. They have this dream of becoming a professional magician and, oh, I'm going to make money from doing magic. And that's what happens. But the problem is when you first start a business, you spend no time at all doing magic and you spend most of your time building your business. You end up doing stuff that you don't really like doing. You know, you end up having to do all the marketing, all of the web design, all of the email marketing, writing emails, writing copy, writing blogs. There's a million things that you have to do that you didn't probably expect you were going to do. So that's something to consider. It's not going to be an easy. It's kind of like it's hard at first, but it gets easier after a while. But you have to build the foundations first of all. It takes time to build the foundations, but without those foundations, it's not going to be a successful business. So, it's a little bit like a McDonald's. I remember years ago, I was driving up this road every single day to work, and there was just this empty plot of land. And then I went away for 2 weeks, and I came back, and there was a McDonald's there. And it's because they spent so much time building the foundations for this McDonald's, and then literally overnight, the thing got put up. And it's the same thing with running a business and setting up a business. You spend a lot of the time setting up the foundational side of the business, and then you kind of reap the benefits. So yeah, anything you want to know specifically about business acquisition, or anything you want to know specifically about lead generation or anything like that, let me know. But yeah, you can do it. And if you're going to retire in 2 or 3 years, start trying to get the assets now. Start trying to develop contacts now, because a lot of it is developing contacts and networking and so on and so forth. Do that now while you still have a job. Start doing gigs part-time if you don't already do it. Start building your website now. Start getting the assets that you need for your website now. Start reaching out to event companies and entertainment companies now while you've got that job, so that a lot of the hard work is done before you even start the business full-time. Good luck. Okay, so the next question is from Cardini 2009 and says, hello, Happy New Year, Craig. Happy New Year to you as well. I'm a Netrix member, thank you very much. But I could not log on. I requested a new password, but I've not received any response after many days. I also don't see how to communicate with staff or a Netrix manager. I don't use social media. Can you help me log back in? I'm really sorry about that. The staff in the office have been off from the 23rd. I'm currently filming this on the 2nd of December. They're back in today. But over Christmas, we kind of give them a break. We've got a skeleton staff in over Christmas. It's relatively easy to set your own password. You just go into the account section, click on security and passwords, and just reset your password. You can do it in there yourself, but we can do it for you. I've passed this on to Sarah, my wife, who also runs the Netrix, and she'll get her or one of her members of staff to deal with it. I've put it onto her today. I know she's busy over the next couple of days, but she promised me she'd get you an email out today. So any questions or any problems with that, contact me personally. I have replied to your comment with my personal email address. Reach out to me personally if you want to. But Sarah should be in touch. But as I say, you can change the password very, very easily in the account section of your dashboard. Or if you log in and it won't let you log in, just click, request a new password, and that should work as well. Okay, so the next question is from Andy Cooper, who says, hi, Craig. Happy New Year to you and the family, and thanks to all of you and the gang for the hard work you put into Magic TV. It's more than welcome. It's very much appreciated. Thank you very much. A while ago, you were talking about Jeff Price at Plainsight Magic, and I think you mentioned that you were hoping to pick up a passenger wallet. I've just picked up one myself and love what it allows me to do. I tend to stick to the main routine taught on the tutorial, but I'm wondering what else could be done with this wallet, even a bit of your creativity and outside the box thinking. I'm ordering one this week, actually, because Jeff has just posted on social media saying that everything is back in stock. So I am actually going on there and getting a few more random card generators and also getting a passenger wallet. So, if it's the sort of thing that I can look at and I can think up some ideas, you'll probably be seeing the hows and whys on the channel at some point in the future. I mean, Jeff is an absolute genius as far as I'm concerned. But I don't even know what the passenger wallet is. It's just I know that I want it because so many people have talked about it. So yeah, I'll let you know. Let me get it, and I'll let you know probably by the end of this month. Okay, so the next question is from Pratek2950, who says, "Hi Craig, great video, and thank you for the video lineup for the last week of 2024. You're more than welcome. You have a question. Okay. The Fusion Mosaic phenomenon by Phil Smith. Is it just one trick, or can the deck be used for multiple effects, as the deck is marked for the photo on the face? If yes, can we have some ideas to use the deck in other ways other than the photo reveal?" The deck is set up mainly for the photo reveal, in all honesty. However, there are other things that you can do with it. But really kind of the main thing is with the photo reveal. I am actually, ironically, you must be psychic, I am actually putting together a hows and whys of the Fusion Mosaic phenomenon, which should be up and running at some point this month. We've got a few other videos to put up first, but at some point this month we are actually putting that up because there are a few other things that you can do with it. So watch this space, it's coming up soon, but congratulations on buying such an amazing trick, it's really good. Okay, so the next question from Pratek2950 is, who is your Royal Rumble 2025 winner prediction? Good question. I don't know is the answer. It very possibly could be CM Punk. I wouldn't be surprised if it was CM Punk, to be honest. Although I don't know. It seems like he's kind of pushing towards world title, but I don't know. It might not be. It could be Kevin Owens, but I mean, I think that that will burn out by the time WrestleMania comes around, so maybe not. My outside choice would be John Cena, because obviously he's coming back and apparently coming back close to full time for his retirement tour. I think that the WWE would love to have him win the title one more time and eclipse Flair's record. Whether or not he does, I don't know. But the best way to get him into the title picture is by having him win the Rumble. So I'm going to go for John Cena. I'll put it out there. John Cena for Rumble winner 2025. Okay, so the next question is from Happy Pancakes, who says, "Hi Craig, hope you've enjoyed your holidays and all is well." Yes, thank you very much. I've been wanting to perform for a while now and never had the guts to actually do it. But after watching your channel and being an avid fan and student for so long, I couldn't not do it. And I already have 3 performances and a couple more bookings only because of you, Craig. No, it's not because of me. That's because of you, man, but I appreciate it. Yeah, I know you're going to say that I'm the one that went out and performed, but it's only because of you. You must be psychic. Are you a mentalist or a magician? Because of you, so thank you. You're more than welcome. Thank yourself, seriously. You know, you've done what a lot of magicians don't do. A lot of people that get into magic will never take that step and go out and become a full-time, go out and perform at gigs. And the fact that you've done that is incredible. P.S. I've been trying to reach you by email. I know you're busy, but can you have a look for Happy Pancakes and generally appreciate it for all you do. Have a great 2025. December has been a write-off for me. I have so many people I need to email back, and it's just not even a joke anymore. It's so ridiculous. Over next week, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get back to as many people as I can. So I will look out for your email. And thanks again for the kind words. Okay, so the next question is from Robert Francis Magician, who says, "Hi Greg, thanks again for answering my question. You give so much back to the magic community. I truly appreciate you. You're more than welcome. A couple of questions. I was wondering, when you send out the cupcakes, how often do you send them out? What if that same client books you more than once? Do you send them out every time? Thanks again, Craig. Cupcakes tend to only be sent out to clients that book me multiple times a year. And I'll send them either in December or January. Normally January, not December. And the reason not December is a lot of corporates get Christmas gifts and Christmas cards, and they kind of become white noise. You know, they get so many Christmas gifts, you don't register that you've had one bought for you, no matter who it is. Or you kind of go, oh, this is from this person, that's nice. But if you send it to them in January and you say, hey, happy 2025, happy new year, just wanted to send you these cupcakes to say thank you for, you know, everything that you've done for us over the course of last year. Here's to a successful 2025. Then your gift stands out. So I don't send it every single time I get a booking. There's some companies that work for that book us like 40 or 50 times a year. That'd be insane. But I send it out to the clients that, you know, I spend a lot of time making sure that they're looked after, if that makes sense. The other thing that you can do, if you want to send something out like every time, there's an app that I have on my phone called TouchNote. And on TouchNote, it allows you to take a photo from your photo gallery, and it allows you to create a postcard with it and send that postcard to whoever you want to send it to. So I have got clients that book me quite a few times, and what I'll do when they send me to a gig, I'll take 2 or 3 photos. I'll give my phone to one of the people, and I'll get them to take a couple of photos of me performing, and I'll do a selfie. And then as I'm leaving the gig, it takes 2 minutes. I'll open up the app. I'll make a little postcard where you've got some pictures on the front of it, and it'll say, hey, thanks very much for the booking. And on the back, I've already got their address in the file, so I'll just click on their address, and I'll just write, hey, gig today went well at so-and-so venue. Thanks once again for the booking. Have a great day. And I'll click send. And then what will happen is they will print that, and then we'll post it, and it'll be with them in like a day or 2 at the absolute most. And it costs next to nothing. You pay for credits, and 1 credit is 1 postcard, and that includes postage and everything. And I do that quite a lot at weddings and private parties, and people that book me an awful lot. I'll just, it's quite nice that after they've sent me to do a booking, or I've just done a booking for somebody, a couple of days later, they only get a postcard through the post with some photos from the event and a personal thank you from me. So cupcakes are really for like a once a year thing, but postcards I can send all year round. Okay, next question is from Capital Idea, who says, hi Craig, first off, I want to say thank you for all you do for your Magic TV family here on YouTube, and all that you do for the rest of the Magic community. You're more than welcome. The interview with Mark Paul was absolutely wonderful. I truly enjoyed it. The section on trade shows really got me interested in working them. I was wondering if you could elaborate on ways to find out which companies are going to be involved in the trade shows. So can I contact them to see if they'd be interested in my services? The trade show sites don't really show what companies are going to be there. How did you go around contacting companies for the trade show work? Thanks again, Craig. Okay, that's a very long question that's going to require a bigger video. I'll do a video on this for you, no problem, in the next couple of weeks. What I will say is, if you want to go down the kind of the cold calling route, which a lot of people do, it's not really looking at what companies are exhibiting this year. It's looking at the previous year and looking at who was there the previous year. It's normally quite easy to see who was at the event the previous year, and basically what you can do is you can get their information and you can contact them about the following year. But the other way of doing it is through effective use of digital assets and SEO. So these days when I do trade shows, they've come to me. I haven't cold called them. It's inbound marketing as opposed to outbound marketing. And it's about setting up PPC and SEO with the correct search words that allow these companies to find you. So I'm not going to get into it too much now because it is a long, heady subject, and I think it's something that a lot of people won't be too interested in, but I will put a video together about it in the not too distant future. Okay, Capital Idea has a second question. Hello, Craig. Question number 2. I'm doing research on the different principles used in mind reading. I'm finding that learning principles rather than tricks are far more interesting and useful. Can you name as many principles for mind reading as you can think of, if I've missed any? Any good resources when I can look up these different principles? Thanks again, Craig. My God, you have a great way of asking questions that really are too long for a Q&A. Again, this is one that I might have to look at and kind of expand on in a future video. But you've made yourself a list here. Let's have a look at what you've got. So you've got Equivoke, yeah. Dual reality, yeah, dual reality. Forces, yeah. Matrix principle, which is really a forcing matrix, so that's kind of forcing, but okay. The binary principle, yeah. Patio method, but that's also a force, isn't it? It's a way of forcing something. Magician's choice, well, that's equivoke, that's also a force. Switches, yeah. Billet and business card peaks, yeah. Envelope switches and peaks. There's a lot that you're missing, honestly. We could do a video on this. Some things that you want to look into off the top of my head. Look at nail writing and thumb writing. Look at double writing. Double writing is absolutely amazing. Look at indexes. Look at cribs. Look at stacks. All of these are things that you haven't mentioned. And you said switches, you've kind of thrown switches in there, but I mean, that could, billet switches, you know, there's so much you can do with that. If you don't know Cassidy's name place routine, have a look at Cassidy's name place routine. Think about one ahead principle, two ahead principle. Being one ahead and being two ahead allows you to do some absolutely incredible stuff. Yeah, there's more. There's a lot more. Yeah, look into those to start off with. And what I'll try and do is I'll try and do a video on this at some point in the future. Okay, so the next question is from Divishan Magician, who says, what do you say or do to introduce yourself to the birthday people or wedding couples when you have been booked as a surprise? Hence, they don't know you're coming. Next week, I've been booked for a 40th birthday as a surprise, and I'm not sure how to go by introducing myself to the birthday man. Should I just say your wife has booked me or just surprise you? So it's a great question, Divishan. And that happens to me a lot where I'm booked as a surprise for somebody. Let's take this 40th birthday as an example. When I get to the venue, I very discreetly asked for the booker. So in this case, it looks like you've been booked by the wife. So I'll very discreetly ask for the wife. Or the person who's booked me, and she'll come over and I'll introduce myself and say, hi, I'm Craig, I'm the magician that you've hired, how you doing? And she'll go, yeah, I'm great. And I'll say, right, I'm here now, what would you like me to do? Would you like me to very quickly introduce myself to the groom and introduce myself as his birthday present? Or would you like me to just start working the room and you can kind of point out to him who I am? Or would you like me to like announce my arrival and what I'm going to be doing to the whole room and do maybe a trick to everybody before I start? And they will pick. Now, a lot of the time I'll have this conversation before I've even gone to the event, and it'll just be confirmed when I actually get there. But if they want me to, you know, just kind of go and introduce myself to the partner, that's the first, that which is the most popular thing. That's what I'll do. I'll just go over and I'll go, hey, you must be John. John, nice to meet you. I'm Craig. I'm your birthday gift. Don't worry, I'm not a stripper. Nobody wants to see that. I'm actually a magician, and I'm here to perform for you and all of your guests. You look very excited about this, John. It's a gift for you from my wife. I know you're expecting tickets to the Bahamas, but you got me. So, hey, happy birthday. And that's kind of how I play it. I play it very funny and very tongue-in-cheek. And then I'll say to them, look, I'm going to go run around your guests and show them some magic, but you and I need to sit down later on because I need to do a special performance for you. If I just start performing, I'll just start performing. And this never used to be an option I gave people, but a few people asked me to do it this way, so I throw it in as an option now. But I'll just start performing, and I'll just see that the bride or the partner or whatever event I'm being booked at is letting the other person know who I am and what's happening. And then at some point when I know that they've done that, I'll go over and introduce myself. The way that I like to do it the best is where I just announce myself to the whole group. So I'll say, ladies and gentlemen, can I get your attention? Hello. First of all, I want to say a big happy birthday to John. Everyone give John a big, massive round of applause. Now, John is actually, it's his birthday today. And because it's his birthday, I am his birthday gift. And I've been invited to come along and perform for you. No, it's nothing as dodgy as that. I'm actually a magician. And I've been invited to come perform for John and all of John's guests. And John, you look absolutely delighted about this. So, yeah, right, it could have been anything, but you got a magician. Surprise! And I say, now, I'm going to be going around and performing for you guys close up. Now, that means I'm going to be doing magic right in front of your eyes. So when I come over to you, please don't freak out. I'm not as dodgy as I look. It's my job to come over and show you magic. Now, to get you in the mood, I would like to do one trick for absolutely everybody here. And it's not going to be me that does this trick. It's going to be John. We all like to see John perform a trick to everyone as it's his birthday. And then what I'll do is I'll do close-up cueing from the Penguin Holiday Special. I taught it on the Penguin Holiday Special. It's my version of Angelo Carbone's Cue the Magic. I do that every time I get myself into a situation where I perform to everybody and I need to get somebody up to the front to do a trick for them first. That's the trick that I do first. So, yeah, that's what I do. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so the next question is from Paul Roberts, who says, Craig actually created a superb stand-up piece that with his kind permission I use, and it never fails to deliver. This has elevated my performances to a level I never could have imagined. Thank you, my friend. That is bullshit, Paul. You are incredible. You are one of the funniest comedy magicians in the world as far as I'm concerned. and I watch you, and I'm always in fits of laughter. You're my wife's favourite comedy magician. You, Paul, are amazing. I'm not elevating anything at all. You're brilliant. You're absolutely brilliant. And we need a drink. We need a catch up, my friend. So now that things have quietened down in January, perhaps we can meet for a drink. But if you guys don't follow Paul Roberts, you really should do. He is brilliant. Okay, so the next question is from Dodgy Wheel, who says, "Hi Craig, firstly, Happy New Year, same to you. I've recently got John Ballon's Chop Shop, which looks superb, but I'm struggling with the 7-card Elmsley count. Where's the best resource to learn this for 7 cards, and how simple is it to learn? Secondly, I can't get past the mental block of how does the spectator not see its 7 cards. To me, the performer, it looks so obvious, and I struggle with this block and lots of tricks, which makes me more nervous to perform, as I don't want to ruin the effect. I only perform for friends and colleagues as a hobby, so flight time isn't something I get a lot of. Thanks again for all you do." What I would say, I don't have a deck of cards here, unfortunately. What I would say is it's okay. I'm back. So let's talk about the 7-card Elmsley count for a minute. The only deck I could find was a blank deck, but hey ho, it is what it is. Right. Okay. So we have 7 cards, right? The point is to just practice. So we all know that an Elmsley count uses 4 cards, right? We know that. And when you do the Elmsley count, it's a 4 for 4 count. You're hiding this card right here. It is effectively a great count if you've got more than 4 cards. Now, the only thing that I would suggest to you is here's how you make it deceptive. So this is the 7-card Elmsley count. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, you probably know this, but I'll go through it for you anyway. First of all, tempo is important. It doesn't matter if you go fast like that, or you go slow like this, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The tempo has to be the same. If you change the tempo when you take the block, it's not going to look as good. Second of all, you want to angle the top of the cards towards the audience. They want to be looking at the flat surface. If they're looking directly at the front, they're going to see the thickness of the pack. The way to stop that from happening is tipping down slightly, so they're seeing the back of the cards, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to get the back of the cards right there. So if you do a walk around and looking down, it's not a problem. If people are sitting at the same table, just angle the cards down like this. The next thing that I would say is practice the push off. The key to it is pushing off. You see I've pushed off here. It looks like 1 card, but it's actually 5 cards, right? The key thing is practicing the push off here. Okay, so remember, when you're doing an Elmsley count, the left hand does all the work. The right hand doesn't do anything other than push. So the left hand takes the first card. As it's taking the first card and all the attention's there, I'm doing the push. That's the bit that you want to practice, because you don't want this to do this. This is not good. You don't want to kind of do that and have it all spread out. So you practice. I like to push it up here. You know, some people will push it down there. It doesn't really matter. But when you push off, you want to practice it so it stays as aligned as possible. Because then, as soon as you've done that and you've took the 2, you can use this hand to square those 2 up as you take the 3 and the 4. So if I just turn these 4 face up here, you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4. And we've hidden this one. Now, you can grip the cards from above in Biddle Grip, and you can do like a modified Hammond count. So you can kind of do the same thing. So you can, if you want to, you'd have to have a slightly different setup. So you'd have to have the face-up cards at the bottom. But you can kind of do a modified Hammond count, and you just pull off a single, do a Hammond count switch, and just drop the double on top. But the problem is, unlike an Elmsley count, it keeps the cards in the same position. Now, the reason that's a problem is sometimes, and I think Chop Shop is one of those routines, you want the cards to go into the different position that Elmsley count allows you to do for the method. So some routines, doing it from Biddle Grip is more secure, but it might not work. You'd have to check each individual trick. But yeah, if you wanted to do Elmsley count with 7 cards, just practice to push off. The other thing that I would say is put your forefinger here at the top left. The left hand, put your forefinger here at this corner. If the forefinger's not there, when you take the cards off, they are going to separate. The forefinger keeps everything together, so it keeps that one card coming off smoothly, and it allows you to kind of do that without anything kind of being exposed. The key thing is, it's like anything, it's just practice. Just practice it until you've got it looking really smooth. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Hopefully that helps. Okay, so the next question is from Illusionist Ed Zeus, who says, no question this time. Just wanted to say thank you for all the videos this year. I've learned so much. Have an awesome 2025. Same to you, my friend. Thank you so much for the kind words, and I hope you have a great 2025. Okay, still. Adam Callahan says, third comment for Fool Us. I haven't seen any of the comments yet, so I tend to click newest first when I read these, so I'll go in reverse order. Third comment for Fool Us. A lot of stuff I see you do is classic moves, which I'm sure they'd see through, but you have such a vast knowledge and you're so creative. I know you'd have something you can put together to test them. Even if you don't win the trophy, a lot of your fans would love to see you do the show. Hope you have a successful 2025, and thanks for all you do to the subscribers and the industry as a whole. You're more than welcome. Look, I've never really been a Fool Us guy. It's never been a thing for me. You know, I think I've talked about this on the channel before, but I'm not really that into fame and fortune and becoming a TV magician. It's not something I want. I've had a couple of opportunities recently where I could go on TV, and both times I've kind of turned them down. So maybe I will. Maybe I will. You know what? If I was going to do Fool Us, I think I'd do the Atomic deck. I don't know. I have got other stuff. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so the next question is from Michael Stager, who says, hi Craig, hope the holidays went well. Yes, very well, thank you. My question is this: have you ever felt you've delivered a subpar magical performance to your audience, and how did you improve it? Yes, I have, many times. I always tell people that the best thing that you can do is record every single performance. I try to record as many of my performances as I can. I always record Ryland's performances, and now Thea's started performing. I'm recording all of her performances. It's very important to do that, because that way you can look back at stuff and you can go, well, what went well and what went wrong? And you don't want to beat yourself up. Sometimes we beat ourselves up. You know, you want to remember that you are awesome and you want to celebrate your successes. But, you know, sometimes, and here's the weird thing, right? There's been times where I've walked off stage and I'm just like, nope, I didn't feel that. I don't think the audience felt it. I didn't feel I did very well at all. I didn't think I vibed with the audience. I don't think that went well. And I'll come off the stage and I'll have so many people coming up to me going, oh, that was amazing, that was brilliant. And the booker will say, oh, you're the best magician I've ever seen. And sometimes we can be a little bit self-critical. You know, we can assume that it's not as good. And maybe it's not as good as you intended it. But the booker is still very happy. And ultimately, at the end of the day, that's one of the most important parameters to really consider. But, yeah, you should be constantly improving your act. The day that I get to the point where I go, well, I can't improve my act, it can't be done anymore, is the day that I just give up. I've got a piece of mentalism in my act that I do as a comedy mentalist, and I get insanely good reactions from it. And I've just come off a Zoom call with Pete Turner before filming this, and I was talking to Pete, and he gave me one little piece of advice that is going to take that performance and make it 20 times better. So we're always looking to improve. You know, you're always looking to improve. Film everything that you do, watch it back, and work out what you can do next time to make it better. What can you do with that performance so the next time you do it, it's 20% better? Is there something you can change? Is there something you can tweak? Is there something that you did in that performance that was good, you can carry on in future performances? You know, you constantly should be improving. Okay, so the next question is again from Michael Stager, who says, what's your go-to trick or routine when asked to perform socially? Keymaster is always on me, so Keymaster's quite high up. ED Seat is an everyday carry for me. I always have ED Seat with me. I also have Mark Lemon's Chroma in my wallet constantly. That's something that I always have on me as well. I need to do another EDC video, I think, because there's a lot that I always carry in my wallet. I have a lot in my wallet. I have a lot on my phone. There's certain apps. Yeah, I do a lot with Digital Force Bag and and that's something that I will bust out an awful lot when I've been asked to perform. Toxic Plus is another one that I'll do an awful lot. There's a trick that I always have in my wallet called Credit Crunch, which I think is coming out this year through Penguin Magic. I filmed it like August last year. I filmed it when I filmed Magic Button, but it's not out anytime soon. I think it will come out at some point this year. But Credit Crunch, if you see me at a convention, just ask me to perform Credit Crunch. It's killer. It's absolutely amazing. It's probably my favorite credit card trick. I'm just trying to think of other stuff. It has to be a true everyday carry. Like, I've got some great stuff that I do that would appear like an everyday carry, but it's not. So I'm trying to be completely honest with you guys. But Keymaster and Keyvolution by Mark Leverage is another thing that I carry around with me all the time. So if I was going to go with apps, it would be Toxic Plus or... Okay, so the next question is from Raised Ace, who says, thanks for all you do for the channel. I love watching your content, and it's so refreshing to get an honest and unfiltered take on all things magic, and your work ethic is inspiring and motivating. Thank you so much, Raised Ace. I hope you have a fantastic 2025. Okay, we've got another question now from Divishan Magician, who says, I have 2 years experience of real gigs now, but they've all been teen or adult gigs. I'm now looking at getting into kids parties in the new year, so I'm researching DVDs on how to learn to be a kids magician entertainer. Do you recommend any good resources? Also, do you find that in most kids parties, the adults are also there? This is because perhaps I can do close-up magic after for the adults. Also, because I have an idea to dem very basic tricks during the kids show, like small things from a kids magic set, and then teaching them and selling them to the children. But of course, this would mean the parents would need to be there. Okay, so first of all, there's a few things that you need to know. Most birthday parties, not all by any stretch of imagination, but 95% of birthday parties, the adults do not want to be involved in that birthday party at all. If they have had their child invited to a birthday party, and let's say they've booked a village hall, and they've got a 2-hour party that they've been invited to, they look at that as a chance to unload their child for a couple of hours. They'll be in the same room and they'll be present, so if there's a problem, they will be there, but they want to sit at the back of the room and natter to the other parents and just unwind and basically kind of, in a way, think of it as free babysitting. Now, it's not, and we're very clear, I'm very clear when I do a kids show, I am not a babysitter by any stretch of the imagination, but it's very obvious that the adults typically don't want to be involved in the party at all. I see a lot of kids entertainers, and they'll get the adults involved, and you can just see the parents rolling their eyes. Sarah does that when she takes Thea to a birthday party, and then there's an entertainer there who drags the parents into the show. She's like, oh, I just wanted to sit down and just relax for a bit. So typically, a lot of the time, you don't want to get the adults involved. I know now that's different for a family gig. That's different for, if you like, in a theme park or somewhere like that. But for your typical birthday party, you don't want to get the adults involved at all. And you definitely don't want to be going around doing close-up magic, because the whole pitch of being a kids party entertainer is that you're going to entertain the kids. Now, whether you're there for 2 hours and you're running a whole complete party package, or you're there to just do the show, you're not really there for the adults. Now, there's been times in the past where I've been booked for events as a close-up magician, and I've took the kids to one side and I've done a half-an-hour show with them, and that's absolutely fine. But for your typical kids party, the parents don't want you to be walking around doing close-up magic for the adults, because while you're doing close-up magic for the adults, the kids are running riot. The kids should be, you should be doing something with the kids the whole time other than when they're eating, because you need to keep them engaged, and something should be happening every 3 seconds that you perform for kids. Every 3 seconds, something should be happening. You either make them laugh, you make them shout, you're showing them something magical, whatever. And also, I'd be very, very, very careful about being booked for a kid's birthday party and selling stuff to the kids after. That's kind of a typical no-no. You do that at holiday parks, you do that at paid events, you don't do that at a kid's birthday party. I know my wife would, if we had a birthday party invitation for Thea, for example, and she was taken to a birthday party, we've already had to buy a present for the birthday child and a whole bunch of other stuff. If she went there and then she was like, oh, can I have £10 to buy a magic set, please? like, bearing in mind, you're supposed to get party favours from a kid's birthday party, not be sold stuff, not be upsold stuff after the party's finished. If you were going to do anything down that route, I would suggest offering the client who's booked you as an upsell. You know, I can do a workshop at the end and give every child a trick and teach them a trick, and you can give them that as a giveaway. But I'd be very careful about selling tricks after a party. I don't think that would work at all. Okay, so Punkala says, hi Craig, have you ever considered going on Penn and Teller Fool Us? I think your Quantum deck and probably the upcoming Atomic deck would do well there. Yeah, I agree. The fact that the Quantum deck is a few years old doesn't seem to matter, as some of the performances have been used in routines for years and years. Thank you for completing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 challenge. I checked out almost all of them. You're more than welcome. Look, here's the thing. Penn and Teller Fool Us. I'd rather Ryland go on it than me. I'd rather Thea go on it than me, to be perfectly honest. Me, if the right thing came along, would I like to go? Yeah. Have I always been a fan of Penn and Teller? Yes. Have I, hey, myself and my wife got married in Vegas. Our wedding entertainment in the evening was Penn and Teller. So, yeah, but I don't know. I'd have to make sure it's the right thing. You see, a lot of the time with Penn and Teller Fool Us, it's about going on there and doing a great show. People want a show reel. People want that really good footage of themselves on TV that they can use on their website or whatever. I'm not that bothered about that. If I went on, it would be because I really wanted to fool them. That would be the goal. And a lot of the stuff that I do isn't designed to fool magicians. You know, it's just not. You know, my stuff is commercial. It's not designed to fool magicians. Maybe the Atomic deck, but could I design something? Probably with some help from some friends, but I'm not saying no. I'm just saying I'm not sure. Okay, so the next question is from Josh Coleman, who says, I'm a big fan, Greg. Thank you. You've got a question. Have you ever thought of doing a stripper deck project? I love your other gaff deck projects, and stripper decks are my favourite gaff deck. Yes, I have. And it will be coming, but it's going to be probably more towards 2026 now. I have my 2 projects lined up for 2027, and one of them is almost ready to film. The other one is about 6 months off. I can't see myself doing another project this year. So, but stripper deck is on my horizon. I've already started creating routines for it, but it takes 2 or 3 years to put these together. So I would say 2026, maybe middle to end of 2026, you'll see a stripper deck. Okay, we've got another Josh Coleman question, who says, have you ever thought of going on Fool Us? Someone as creative as you would do amazing. Answer above. Maybe, maybe not. Don't know. We'll see. Okay, next question is from RGT Tex, who says, hi, Greg. Thank you for an outstanding year. Really enjoyed watching the Penguin Holiday Special. It was a hoot. You're more than welcome. This year, I inspired 2 fledgling magicians. I gifted Evoke and encouraged both to use the Evoke tutorial as an example of how to properly routine instead of perform tricks. That's amazing, by the way, like phenomenal. That's the sort of thing I love to hear. Genuinely, that is the sort of thing I love to hear. As for my favourite Craig Petty release in 2024, surprisingly, Destiny Deal takes 2nd place. Wow. Only to the reaction I had when I first discovered the secret behind the Infinity deck. Of all the utility decks released this year, it stands out as the most ingenious and inspiring proof that card magic is evolving. I had a similar feeling when Cube 52 was released, though for entirely different reasons. Thank you so much. I'm very proud of the Infinity deck. I really am. I do it an awful lot. I'll be honest, I initially purchased ABC by Spidey and Sentimental by Nicholas Mavresis in your Evoke deck as effects to facilitate cold deck switches with playing cards. This was my only reason for owning them. That paradigm began to shift with the Infinity deck. It marked the start of a huge evolution about how I think about card magic, and for that reason, it earns 1st place in my book. Thank you very much. That means a lot. I now realise poker cards aren't as familiar to a modern audience, a topic, I believe, that has been discussed at length on Magic TV. Yes, 100%. This year I invested a small fortune perfecting Angelo Carbone's On Edge. No, it's an amazing trick. I haven't perfected it by any stretch of imagination. I became obsessed with the trick, and I believe I've improved and elevated it. Please send a video. Post with a link to the video. I want to see that. I will do a live reaction to it on the Q&A. Alongside that, I purchased 3 more Mnemonica Stack reference books. Henry Harris's Venom Cube Compact Edition, which was inspired to anchor with Cube 52, Little Holes and Trick Trick Boom, and a long-awaited release of Notion in Motion for Angelo Carbone. Blooming hell, that's a great set. You have good taste in magic. Every other magic I've made and purchase I made this year was a Craig Petty effect. I'm also a new member of the Netrix. Thank you so much. Honestly, seriously, dude, thank you. Focus sets a new standard for embedding magic and mentalism into marking systems and stacks like the Infinity deck. It takes well-known principles into previous learn-explored territories. With that in mind, I'd say Focus is the bigger game changer of the two. I would agree with you, to be honest. The real feather in your cap has been your exploration of magical principles with these utility deck releases. They genuinely entertain a new generation, one growing less and less familiar with traditional playing cards. That's what I was hoping for, honestly, I really was. Currently, I'm working on gaffing the Heroes and Villains deck to perform Rematch by Bob King. Ooh, very clever. I love that idea. I love that idea. Genius. I've also adapted it to perform a hybrid Gilbreth effect inspired by the late great Max Maven's 2016 April lecture. Oh, wow, okay. The principle is similar, but not the same as the tricks he performed. Here's how it plays. Approximately 1/3 of the cards are cut off and put into the tuck case. 10 or 15 cards are dealt onto the table, and then mixed into the rest of the deck. 2 piles of 12 cards are dealt. The remaining cards go into the tuck case. One spectator takes one pile, second spectator takes the other. They have a free choice between the 2 instruction envelopes, and they find the next steps to take and a sealed prediction envelope. After assembling the cards in their chosen pile, as per the instructions, one participant has 2 female spectators, a hero and a villain, and 1 card that's either a plant or an animal. Among the remaining cards, there are 5 villains worth 12 points and 4 hero cards worth 13 points. The other pile has 4 male characters wearing hats. Among the remaining cards, there are 5 villain cards totaling 16 points and 3 hero cards totaling 7. And when both predictions are open, they match perfectly. Dude, that's sick. Please send me a video. I want to see that. That's brilliant. I love it when people take my tricks and make them better. That's awesome. I'm loving this post. With that said, I have a request. Would you consider releasing expansion packs for these utility decks? For example, Svengali, Menitekel, Cheek to Cheek, or even a Destiny Deal expansion pack for each? Maybe is the answer, in all honesty. It's down to Murphy's. It won't be this year because we've got a lot of stuff going on, me and Murphy's this year. But maybe in the future, if I can convince them. And thank you genuinely for such an amazing email. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, so the next question is from Archcock's Magic. It says, "Hi Craig, hope you had a great Christmas and New Year. 2022 was a great year. 2024 was a great year. You released your best Magic and your best content on Magic TV and the Netrix. I can't wait to see what 2025 brings. Me too. Next question. My question. A lot of the time people talk about interesting methods in tricks. But I think it's more important that we look at the effect on the audience, not the method, because the method doesn't matter to the audience. It'd be better to learn something with a great effect and an uninteresting method rather than the other way around. However, I still see lots of magicians thinking that's a cool method, so I'll do that. Do you think it's important to learn the effect on the audience before the method? Yeah, I do. I think that the effect for me is the single most important thing. It's why you see me do so much stuff with the crosscut force. Like if you've got focus, you'll see that the force I'm using an awful lot is the crosscut force. It's very, very simple, and it's not a sexy method, but it does what I need it to do. I think sometimes methods can be sexy, the effect can be sexy. Look at anything by Tobias Dostal. Like, it's an incredible effect on the audience, but it's also a really interesting method. And I think when people see the full method for the Atomic deck, I think that they'll also see that as well. I think they'll see that the method is really, really cool and a very different way of approaching an ACAN. But at the same time, the method, the effect is very cool as well. But I agree with you. Generally, as a rule, I think we should be going for effect over method. 100%. Okay, so the next question is from Stephen Devereux, who says, "Hi Craig, compliment to you and your family." Thank you very much. "I have done stage magic my whole life, but I really love close-up. Where I live, there's no market for this. How can I get around it?" Well, you know what? My advice would be you can look at any scenario or any situation in a positive way or a negative way. So you can choose to look at this and go, well, nobody in my area does close-up magic. There's no market for it. Oh, nobody's ever going to want to book a close-up magician. Bugger. I just won't offer it. Or you can kind of go, well, nobody in my area offers close-up magic. There's nobody else doing it. It means there's no competition, and it means that if I can show people how effective close-up magic can be, then I can clean up and I can be the only one doing it. And it's really just a mindset change. It's about how you look at a particular situation. If I was in your scenario and I was going into an area where there was no close-up magic being offered, and I would first of all be creating a website specifically about close-up magic. I'd be putting loads of photos on there, loads of videos on there. I'd be writing blogs about close-up magic around the world, embedding video clips from people like David Blaine and Dynamo and that sort of stuff. And then what I'd do is I'd be reaching out to event organizers, to venues, and I'd be saying to them, hey, I now offer close-up magic. It's something that's going to be big in this area in the next 2 or 3 years. And I'd be trying to get them to, like, I'd be giving them freebies. I'd be like, hey, do me a favor. Look, book me for 2 hours for free. I will come along, I'll show you how good it is. I don't care. I would be doing everything I can. I'd be contacting local press. I'd be contacting newspapers. I'd be contacting radio. I'd be talking to them about close-up magic. I'd be offering to give away free close-up magic on the radio in terms of in exchange for an interview. I'd be doing tricks over the radio. I'd be doing busking in the town, but close-up, like hit and run style magic. I'd do everything I can. It would be raising awareness. That would be the most important thing that I think you would do. Raise awareness about how cool close-up magic is, write a bunch of content about how it can be useful for events, and then finally shift the mindset to seeing that this is a really good thing. Because once you crack it, and you can crack it, then you're the person that's dominating that space. This is the set list in a random order. Cardiograph, Venom Crew, Cube and the Solution, Toxic Plus, Cups and Balls, Interlace plus Timeless. Okay, pretty sure to open with Cardiographic and end with either Toxic Plus or Venom Cube, but not sure which one. I would personally end with Cups and Balls. I think that's the best ending. I wouldn't open with Cardiograph, I'd open with Toxic Plus. I would open strong, and I'd open really strong, and I'd just turn around to everybody and say, hey, my name's Divishan, Rao, I want to show you something amazing today. So I want to start off by interacting with every single member in this audience. Can you do me a favour? All take your phones out, you can follow along with me. Then go into Toxic Plus, because here's the thing, you need to grab their attention. If they're following along with you on the phone, they're getting their attention grabbed, and it's a hit. People are going to love that. Look at the Backdoor Magic Convention. I think 3 or 4 years ago, the whole show opened up in the evening of the first night with a performance by Jasper Cherry and Ada McCann and Izzy Simpson doing Toxic Plus. That's everything that you need to know. So Toxic Plus to open up, then go into Cardiograph. Then I'd go into Venom Cube and the Solution, because then you can bring somebody up to the front and you can make a big thing out of them. And I would keep them up at the front and borrow the ring. And I would do Interlace, but give the presentation about they can do the trick themselves. So they do Venom Cube and the Solution, and you go, oh my God, you're amazing. You solved the cube yourself. Let's see if you can do something else. And there's your link into your transition into Interlace. And I'd say, look, you were able to match that cube or solve that cube behind your back. Let's see what else you can do. Have you go out in the audience and borrow a ring off somebody, and they bring the ring back up to you. You do Interlace, but they're the ones that are vanishing it. Maybe you give them a pen or a magic wand or something. They vanish it, and they're supposed to find it, and it hasn't been found, and you get the idea. I think that'd be really cool. And then finish with Cups and Balls and really give it some gravitas and really like make it an important event. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you've seen some amazing magic. I'm going to finish off by performing for you a classic of magic, the Cups and the Balls. Now, this routine is really considered many times kind of something that every magician should learn. It's a rite of passage to become a famous, in order to become a magician. In fact, King Charles, who's the who's in the magic circle, auditioned to be in the magic, you get the sort of stuff. But I really build up to that big Cups and Balls moment at the end. That is what I would do. Okay, so there's one last question from Gavin Shadowglass, who says, loved your performance of the Atomic Deck at the Penguin Live. Thank you very much. I do want to ask a question. Can you perform this without people accessing the website on their phone? And the answer is yes, Gavin. Yes, you absolutely can. When it's actually released and you get the tutorial, there are multiple ways of doing it. What you just saw there is the stage performance. That's one of my favourite ways to perform it. There are only a few people in the audience for the Penguin Live, but whenever I do the Atomic Deck, whenever I do a one-man show now, I close with the Atomic Deck. So I have everybody take their phones out, I have everyone follow along with me, they all stand up, and I have the head booker or the CEO come on stage with me, and they are there holding the deck of cards. And they hold the deck of cards, and when we get to a whole bunch of people standing up in the audience, I say, now I'd like you to pick anybody here. You can pick anyone you want to. So the client picks them, and then I have them pan me the deck, and I ask them the card, and I have the booker here watching as I'm dealing the cards, and then I take the card that's at their position, I hold it here, and they still haven't said the card. This booker can see it, and I say, right, for the first time, name your card. They react. That's the first beat. Then I turn it around, and the audience reacts. That's the second beat. And it's amazing. So, but what you just saw there is the stage performance. You didn't see a walk-around performance. You didn't see a close-up performance. You didn't see a performance virtually over Zoom. There's so many different ways of doing this. Honestly, I actually prefer, it's not an app. It's not a piece of technology at all. The Atomic Deck doesn't work with apps. In fact, you don't need your own phone. You can walk around completely naked and do this if you want to. But I actually like the spectators going onto their phone, or if I'm doing it one-on-one, I like the spectator going onto their phone, because from a presentational point of view, having them confirm that the card and the position that they've named are unlikely to ever appear at that position is a really strong hook. But you don't have to, and there's lots of different ways of performing it, and as we get closer to launch date, you will see that. But thank you for the interest, and the answer is no. Okay guys, that's another Q&A in the bag. Thank you once again for joining me right here on Magic TV. Now don't forget, we have a review show special tonight, and it's Liquify Spectrum Edition by Tobias Dostal and Illusionist, so make sure you look out for that. If you haven't already done so, please join the Netrix. It's www.thenetrix.com. It's my online streaming platform for magicians. You can get access immediately, and I will see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching. You're a fantastic group of people. Thank you for continuing to support me on my journey, and I'll see you again soon. My name's Craig, and this is Magic TV.